David, some coaches treat using zone kind of as like a last resort kind of option. What's just your philosophy in general on going to whether it's a kind of the 3-2 or it felt like we got some box and one kind of looks at the end of game one?
Yeah, we've tried different things. Clippers series was good to us, especially in Game 7, going to the 3-2. We played a little 2-3 to start games. It's a good way to go, I think, to deter good ATOs. You know, you can kind of throw it out there. Maybe they go a different way. It definitely doesn't feel good when somebody bangs the three. When you call zone, you have a base man defense you could have been in to start. But yeah, we did. The full denial thing, I wouldn't say it was a box and one. It was us on the bench saying, hey, if you get the chance, there's 10 on the clock, just full on deny him as best you can. And Shea's a guy that can obviously get open after you do that, but you have to do some things on the fly organically when you're out there and feel it in the game. And I gave the guys a lot of credit. They showed him different looks. He's an amazing player. And tonight we'll do that again. We'll have to throw, different things out there depending on what lineup they have on the court.
Coach, you talked about having an honest locker room. When you took over, how did you know that they were ready for that? Because you have a core of guys who've done a lot over the last through the championship. And where does Russ fit into that as kind of the new piece, elder statement with a huge resume?
Yeah, Russ is a very strong voice, and he's also has a lot of experience in this league, both good and bad. And I think that's a great thing to have. People that have been through it, the ups and downs of what this is. And on top of that, he's played for a lot of different high-profile coaches. He's been on a lot of high-profile teams that have different stylistic ways of playing. So when he has an opinion, we're going to listen. When you have somebody, it's always good to have that. Where we've done a certain thing a certain way all these years, it's good to hear a fresh voice. And then on top of that, it's really nice to have a group that's been together because we've had our standards of things, of adjustments we've gone to in playoff series, and it's not new to them. If we say, hey, let's go this way, we're going to switch this, or we're not, whatever, we're going to stay in coverage in this, we're going to blitz this. We've done it before, so they're comfortable with that. It makes adjustments on the fly much easier in a playoff game.
David, you cautioned against overreacting in a playoff series. Are you expecting any seismic changes to the way this game looks?
I think they'll come out with the same energy they did before. And I was just talking to the radio over there, but it's not the first punch, I think, with this team. It's when they rotate guys in. You have to take a couple punches early. It's not just their starting five that is so exceptional. It's the energy of Caruso and the different ways they can go. They can cross-match early like they did with Chet. They can go small and pick up and really pressure. So I think the first 18 minutes of a game against a team this good are so important. I thought we handled it well, and to get it to 10 at half felt really good. I really mean that, because with the energy they were playing with. And throughout that whole game, we just kind of sustained, and you never know what's going to happen those last couple minutes. We got an opportunity to win the game, and obviously Aaron made the shot. But yeah, man, this is different. This is not like a top-heavy team. This is a come at you in a million different ways kind of team. So we got to take punches, get back up throughout the game, stay in the game, give ourselves a chance to win another one.
You talked about you guys can play a lot better. Obviously, the 18 turnovers and some of the defensive breakdowns. When you went back and watched film, was that more mental lapses, or was it physical, or was it both?
I just thought it was them. Seriously, you talk about themes, but when you go out there, you got to go play against the themes, and then it's a lot different. The transition turnovers in the first half were comical, killed us. When you play great defense, you win the defensive rebound against a team that crashes, and then they're blitzing the ball. You got to be more mature with the ball. I thought we gave them runs throughout the first half. We talked a lot about their shot blocking. When they block shots, those are turnovers in this building. They're runouts. Chet's one of the better shot blockers I've ever seen with the timing and the way he controls the ball when he blocks it. There were a lot of things in the first half I thought, they were just new to us because it was a new team. But I expect us to be more mature with the ball tonight, understand that if we're going to win a game two, we got to be much cleaner. And that's the thing that really stood out in the film.
What do you think about Joker's coaching potential?
He's amazing, man. I know there's the narrative. I love the narrative. I keep writing it. It's cool to see our guys actually talk to each other. I'll keep saying that. And it's not just Joker. I know Joker gets on camera because he's a 3-time MVP, one of the greatest players to ever play. It's been Aaron. It's been Russ. It's been Christian. It's been Jamal. You want that. Michael talking to me in timeouts, DJ, asking for his opinion, what he sees. It's a 17-year veteran. If these guys are not talking, I said it yesterday, that's a problem. And the more we communicate and make this thing about the group and about us and not about who gets credit and why, the better off we're going to be. So I'm really excited of what Nicole is doing. His leadership has taken strides this last month. Not that it wasn't there before, but it's been very apparent throughout the playoffs, that he wants to impact philosophy and things that we do. And I'm the biggest fan of that. So I'm very excited about that.
Did you go, when you slid over a chair, did you go to him and say, hey, we want you, to take charge when you've got something to say in a huddle? Is that a conversation you guys had, or did it just kind of happen organically?
I mean, I said it to the whole team, and I'll never forget my father every training camp telling his teams, this is your team. I think a lot of guys are uncomfortable with wanting that. I think they want to rely on the coaching staff to say things, then they have an opinion. Yeah, I think you have to take ownership of what's yours. And I think you only get so many seasons, man. I mean, this is one opportunity, and this is going to be the only opportunity in 2025. So, don't look back and go, man, I wish I would have said this. I wish I would have reacted. I wish I would have told my teammate to, pick your head up. You're all good. You need that to win these games. And leadership comes from a lot of different places. And I think the players owning that, responding to each other, using each other as energy is only a positive thing. And I'll take it every night, every game.
David, you've sort of toggled with that 8th spot in the rotation a little bit. You go with Julian the other night. Just sort of curious how you view, I guess, the balance between maybe the perceived risk of trying different guys, a little bit of experimentation with that spot in these playoff settings versus just the importance of being able to have someone at least fill 6 minutes, 8 minutes in that role to help with the load or whatever it may be.
Right, and Julian was the guy the other night. Was hoping to flow him back in the second half, but the game was kind of teetering. Nicole got the 4 fouls. I decided to keep him in. We shortened the rotation. I thought, at that point, if I took him out, the whole thing could kind of get away from us. And I think sometimes for these guys, it's hard when you rotate them in and it's Nicola's non-minutes and you're saying, hey, go make an impact, when our whole system is based around playing through him. When Jamal's getting blitzed and he's getting hit and picked up, and all of a sudden you have a lot of responsibility with the ball. And I thought Julian was okay. I didn't see a kid that was scared out there. I mean, he went vertical at the rim. He got a bucket. Hasn't played in a long time. So I was really impressed with him. And then I got to react to their rotation too. They went to the Zubats rotation. The Clippers did. They took Isaiah out, put him back in to play with the second unit. So I got to think about that tonight. Like, do I want to run Aaron like I did in that game? But I also got to get Aaron to the end of the game with legs. And so we'll read the game, see where we're at, where the minutes are, do the best we can with the rotation. Thank you. Yep, thanks.